with that, from one trade that everyone saw coming to one that we did not see coming until the night before, and still, I'm low key still processing. Lamelo Ball gets traded to the Timberwolves. Him and Josh Green, they get traded for Nas Reed and a couple of picks, one unprotected first round, and then three swaps and 3 second rounds. I'm still trying to figure out where the T Wolves are going. Real quick, they salary dumped Julius Randle, and at that point, I was like, I kind of like this move. I think they're going to try to move Nas Reed into the starting lineup, and that probably gives them more pop on offense, and they don't really lose that much on defense. And then all of a sudden, they move off of Nas Reed as well, and they get Lamelo Ball. I guess to start, what was your initial reaction, and how do you see? Because I have some serious concerns, but I want to hear what you think about just initial thoughts and how you think this team is going to look during the regular season.
My initial was what the fuck, and
Yeah,
not even like trying to analyze stuff, but more so like I didn't even know this was possible. Like I know it was possible, but I like if
yeah,
I on 2K, I'd have been like, no, what like this game is so unrealistic. Like how come it's 2026
right.
realistic? And then sitting there and talk about it, I really like it for the Hornets. I really like it for the Hornets. I give the Hornets a lot of props for making this deal, and I like Lamelo. Like it's kind of went downhill this year because of the whole he hit that he got in that accident, and then he was in the presser. He had no shirt on. He was in the wrong. Really was like this. Yeah, I'm happy. Like there was no accountability for it. There was no nothing like that, and I thought it was the first time that to me he showed a real level of immaturity. And I know that's weird to say because the whole Ball family and how they move and all that, but I think LaMelo's always been this. I think he's been more mature than you would think for a guy coming from his situation. And maybe you got to give props to all his brothers and him growing up in it and playing in the pros overseas. So I like LaMelo. And damn, there's times you watch LaMelo Ball play, you go, this is the most talented guy in the league. Like fuck Giannis, fuck Curry, fuck Braun, fuck Aiden. Like you watch this dude. I mean, he does some things that no one else really does, and then how big he is, and then when he actually plays on the defensive end, like he has all the attributes to be one a top 10 defensive guy in the league. But he's not. He's he has not made that jump to being a winning basketball player. The Hornets have made that jump to becoming a winning organization. Like this was a great year for him. They got the head coach that they need. Steve Clifford is in the front office. And I know you know who Steve Clifford is, but like I think Steve Clifford is really good, right? He's really respected. So they have the right coach, the right front office. Is Jordan is Jordan still an owner?
I think he sold the team.
Okay, right. Like I just had to. He might have a little stake, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably good too. You know, and again, Jordan,
yeah.
he's the best. Yeah. Uh, but and then Con Knipple, like he was terrible in the two play-ins, but that was almost expected. Well, it wasn't expected because how good he was the all year, but you know he just had that first year in the first couple games in the playoffs. You know it's tough, but like that guy, that's the dude that changed the organization. Like as from a player standpoint, that's the guy. Brandon Miller's good. Knipple's good. Is Kobe White still under contract? I don't know if you know that off the top of your head.
They just signed him to, I believe, 3 years, 74 million.
Boom. So that you have Kobe White, you have a whole backcourt right there. Uh, and I think Miller. I think Brandon Miller is really good. I think Kobe White has proven. I mean, he's a good basketball player. So right, Lamelo was out for a while. Lamelo came back. He bought in some. He did all that, but then he still puts up 15 threes a game. Played. You know what I mean? He still does. He still had nights where he's 2 13 turnovers. So I give them a lot of props for having this dude that's still very talented, does part of it, fan favorite, right? He's gonna fill seats, right? Because there's that aspect of it too, and for them to pull the trigger because it was the right thing. You are on the right direction. You know, you can play Kobe, Brandon Miller. Knipple at your 1, 2, 3, however you want, or Miller and Knipple, and then Kobe White comes off the bench, right? Or however they do it. Like you got that, and then you bring in Nas Reed, Miles Bridges. Like Nas Reed and Josh Green are again two of those guys that are going to keep you on that winning trajectory. That win, just being a winning organization and keep moving forward. So for the Hornets, I think it was really cool. For the Timberwolves, I think they're I guess they're trying to figure out a way to win a championship. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, everyone is, but my point is, you had Edwards and Cat, and then Gobert. You try to find Gobert, like, and it just hasn't worked. Then it's the swap for Cat and Randall, basically, and then it hasn't worked. But they've been really good, right? They have been this, and I guess try and change the identity in a way. Maybe they feel their identity they have has not it hasn't produced a championship, right? Because they have nights where they're a good offensive team, but they are this big, athletic, tough, I won't even say grinded out team, but just they have size on you, right? Like Ant is like he's a strong dude there, and just I won't say. Well, I guess it is great because Jaden McDaniels, like what he is a defensive guy, so that has been their identity, and it hasn't produced a championship. So I guess now it's let's get to this mode as explosive as of a backcourt as we can possible. Send out Cat. I said send out a Randall, salary dump Randall, move Nas Reed. So there goes a lot of your size. There goes a lot of your toughness. There goes a lot of that aspect. I mean, they still have Gobert, but it seems like it's going more to just being as explosive. I mean, with Lamelo and Ant, you got to run up and down the court, right? Like with Lamelo, you have to run. He's just I don't know if he's ever going to be a great half court guy. It's just not in his DNA. It's and hopefully he can transition to that, but it's just not in his DNA to consistently be that type of guy. So that's the only. For the Timberwolves, I don't know. I think the Hornets are the winner. I think the Timberwolves is a little bit too much of a big swing. But then at the same time, I give them credit, man. They're trying to find a way. Like they see that they have Anthony Edwards, who's at least a top 10 player in the league, probably better than that. And they're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together to win. So I think great for Hornets. I think high risk, high reward for the Timberwolves.
I would definitely agree. High risk, high reward. For a team like we kind of saw last week, they're for a team as good and as talented as they are, they just didn't win as much as you would have thought in the regular season. And part of that, Chris Finch would talk about how they were trying to get the Timberwolves to take the regular season a little more seriously, and then they just wouldn't. And then they'd get into the playoffs, they'd turn it on, and Chris Finch is like, "Oh snap! Like I guess they can just kind of turn it on." But then, of course, inevitably they would flame out for a team that I think should start taking the regular season more seriously. It's quite a move to bring in Lamelo Ball, who I mean, can we? How many minutes of serious basketball has he played in his NBA career? Not very many.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely positives and negatives. I think their size and like overwhelming defense is a big reason why the Nuggets have just not been able to get past them
Yeah.
in these past couple of seasons, and they just basically gave all that up. Granted, they still have Gobert, who's going to guard Jokic, and they still have McDaniels, who's going to guard. Well, I mean, I don't know who's going to guard Aaron Gordon if he's healthy in that series, but they have McDaniels, who has traditionally guarded Jamal Murray. Go ahead.
Let me take that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't want to use the word grit with them, and maybe because at times they're better offensively than those teams that you call gritty, right? They can
Yeah,
still
I
put up.
feel like Anthony Edwards, like an Anthony Edwards team, can't necessarily be called gritty because Edge is just too nice. He's too smooth. Like it's
Yeah, you're like,
yeah,
but you just talking about it. I was like, you know what? They are gritty because they have some playoff games, and they'll win them and lose them, but it just turns into a dog fight. You know what I mean? And they definitely with everybody, Dallas, Denver, OKC. So yeah, I mean, they literally they said, well, we're gonna lose our grittiness. Uh, And obviously, they're still going to be try. They're still going to try to be this great defensive team, right? I don't think you can have Jaden McDaniels and Gobert and even Ant. Like, does Ant probably take some plays off on the defensive side? Probably, but very not as much as most stars do, right? Like Edwards is he's a he's a hooper. Like he plays both sides of the floor. I think like you said, Edwards himself is gritty, but he's just so smooth offensively. You don't want to put that characteristic on him.
That's a
It's
good way to
weird.
put it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so and you know, high risk, high reward. But this is probably the best thing for Lamelo. If I look at it, this is probably the best thing for Lamelo. And if you go into a stable organization, Finch obviously is very respected there. I think he's very respected around the league when people talk about Chris Finch. Obviously respected with Ant and stuff because for all the years they haven't made it, there hasn't really been this just like the Bucks win a championship and then as soon as some things start falling apart, Giannis and Rivers, Giannis gets Adrian Griffin fired. Giannis and what's my man's name? Doc Rivers is going
Yeah.
back at it, right? He doesn't. That's what happens between stars and the coach. It ends up being one or other. That hasn't really happened with Anthony Edwards and Finch, at least from what I know. So they obviously have a good relationship. So that's a stable organization. They defend. McDaniels, Gobert, who Ant is as a player. So it's probably the best thing for LaMelo if he locks in and takes it like that. And like you said, it's the truth. He hasn't played a lot of serious minutes, but I think he is capable of it. That's why I said, like, I do think he has a maturity level. So I think it's the best thing for LaMelo. But as you were saying, like they take away a lot of that size and grit that have been a strength for them in the playoffs. Like you just said, Jokic, like you were talking about Gordon, all those guys.
Yeah, I think an a real key part here. Let me take you back. I believe this was 2 All-Star games ago. I don't remember who the coach was, but the coach for the first play of the All-Star game draws up a play for Anthony Edwards to throw an alley-oop. And Anthony Edwards in the huddle just goes, "No, no, coach, don't run that. I can't throw lobs."
Yeah,
And
Edwards
then
is cool as shit, man.
he's
Like,
he's a funny guy. He's a cool
yeah,
dude. But also at the same time, after the game, during the press availability, he told the media that. And I think it like really opened my eyes. I was like, wow, anytime I watch the T-Wolves, Anthony Edwards is pretty much never throwing lobs to Gobert. And Gobert is a dude who, I mean, that's why him and Donovan Mitchell started having a little bit of beef. Gobert in his French accent talking about throw the lob. Like, and
well, I know where you're going with this. The guy they just got, all he wants to do is throw lobs for
that man's
anyone.
gonna throw a lot of lobs. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I think this is gonna open up a really nice dynamic of, and also because Gobert he's not the most talented offensive player. Like he plays really hard on defense and he wants to get rewarded by catching lobs. And I can't even blame him for that. Like I'm not gonna say he's wrong. I'm with him on that. And if I had to bet, I haven't looked this up, but if I had to bet over like the last season, it was probably, depending on how much Mike Conley played, it was probably Dante DiVincenzo who threw the most lobs to Gobert. And before that, Mike Conley, whenever he was playing, he was pretty much the only one who was throwing lobs to Gobert. So they're either playing a point guard who's going to get targeted in the playoffs, who's throwing lobs, or it's Dante DiVincenzo, who's not a natural point guard, who can throw lobs, but is not the one that you want handling the ball, playing it play out. Now they have that in LaMelo. And for all, like you were talking about on defense, he has all the tools. Will he put it all together? It's probably going to take a little bit for him. But, I mean, around that culture of, like, really good defensive players, I think that's probably going to be motivation for him to really turn on the defensive end. So I'm looking forward to that. Does this make them – well, here, let me just ask you this. Does this put them in the tier with – and granted, they may have a couple more moves to go, but just this framework of the team, do you think this puts them on the same level
No,
as an OKC? And no, I
no.
don't think so.
Like
So
I don't even know. I don't even know if they got better. Like I
yeah,
don't. I think it's. They obviously think they have, or they obviously have a plan of how they're gonna make it work. And but I think it's really something like we're gonna have to wait and see. Like I don't think anyone could predict the results accurately right now. Like I just think it's. I just I don't even know what they look like as a team. Um, so you go Lamelo and McDaniel's, and then you got to have a four, right? They don't have a four unless.
they might just start Io. They just re-signed Io to a really nice
So
deal.
Jaden McDaniels plays the four.
I as of right now, granted, I think I don't remember who this was on. I was watching ESPN and one of them said that the T Wolves are not done. So maybe their next move is to bring in a four. But as of right now, if I were to set the starting lineup, I'm putting McDaniel's at the four and I'm starting Io.
I mean, so hmm, yeah, I was because when you brought up Dante, I was like, well, that's a good guy you can start like Dante and as far as defensively. But I'm pretty sure Ayu and Dante are around the same defensively. And
Well,
Ayo.
also no Dante for the
Oh,
next season.
he's yeah, he messed up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he's not even. Yeah, so you start. I mean, right there. So if you Ayo, Lamelo, and McDaniel's, Gobert, right off the bat, you have a lot of athleticism. You have four guys that can handle the ball. McDaniel's can handle the ball pretty well. For being the fourth guy on the floor that can handle it, he can do it. I mean, he can even score one on one at times. So
for
right
sure.
off the
Yeah,
bat, you have a lot of guys that can handle the ball, get up and down. I guess you can spread out the court. So I guess off the top of my head, is that the first thing? Just almost like the Jazz with Gobert, like just the spacing and high pick and roll and all this
yeah,
room to work uh so okay, right out the bat, that sounds good. You know, being able to let Ant and Lamelo get downhill with space, get to the free throw line, or finish at the rim, kick out if the help comes. I think that's uh yeah, I think that makes sense offensively, but I still got to see it happen. Like
yeah.
I
Same
still got
here.
to see it happen because again, the game just doesn't flow like that, right? Like, what do you look like? What do you look like half court? Because again, outside of lobs, Gobert gives you nothing half court wise outside of a screen setter and then an offensive rebounder. And but again, it's never that easy, right? Like teams since Gobert have found ways to neutralize Gobert, especially in the postseason. Right, that's where guys get played off the court like Gobert. And to his credit, he actually does a pretty good job. Uh, but he gives you no actual like he can't even be the short roll guy. He can be in the regular season here and there, but he's not that. I'm not as
That's
high as
actually that's part of the reason why the T Wolves didn't really bring him up to screen for Anthony Edwards in the
yeah,
playoffs
because we're
because
just
if he
gonna
comes
double
to
him.
screens, like they were already blitzing anyway. So if
Uh-huh.
Gobert is the guy on the short roll, I mean that's cooked.
Yeah, you're 100%. I'm not as high on Io. That's how you pronounce it.
Yep,
Io as other people are. Like I think he's good. I like watching him in college. I actually watched him in college. Uh, but I out of nowhere it was like he's a six man in the league. He's the best six man in the league. He's this and that. And I didn't watch him too much in the regular season, but in the playoffs. And I know he's coming back from injury, I believe. But I didn't see it. I didn't see it like that. Like I said, I think Dante is actually the better basketball player than I really do than Io. Um, so and then defensively, you're small, even though you got the type of guys you need to be, like the type of toughness. Like McDaniel's is tough as nails. Io, I know for everything I just said about, I didn't think he's. I know he's toughness. Ant is Ant. Lamelo, has light skin toughness. Like and he's tall and he's big or whatever. But yeah, it's like you just flipped. You went from being this tough, gritty team that can explode offensively here and there to, I mean, we're going to score and we're just going to pick up the pace, and then defensively just get enough stops. I don't know. High risk, high reward. High risk, high reward. But I do see the whole. I do see the spacing offensively now with Gobert being the. But this is the problem. Like, is Gobert even that much of a vertical spacing guy or whatever that concept? He provides vertical spacing or a vertical threat that he used to be. Like, I mean, he's getting older now too.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to take credit for this. I heard on this YouTube show Hoops Tonight, the guy was talking about Gobert for as good of a for like the narrative being him being like a good lob catcher. He's only really at his best when he has a clean roll to the
Exactly.
rim and is able to just catch it easy. Like he's not out there like who do I want? Maybe like a Derek Lively or like I don't even want to say Wemby because Wemby just different, but he needs like a clean roll and he needs a clean catch. And if he doesn't get that, he's not able to like just catch, land, and then like play off 2 feet and just make a good move and lay it in. Like at that point, it's if you stop the initial lob, he's pretty much cooked. Like you, if he gets the ball in the paint and he's 1-on-1, his team is like you can see it in their energy. Like, oh, I don't know about this one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I think that's been a big point of contention for the team for the past couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So I think Lamelo getting him cleaner lobs is probably gonna help a lot. And then I mean defensively, you already know what he's gonna provide. So yeah, we're getting up to the hour mark, so I don't want to keep you too long. We were find out. Go ahead.
Oh well, I was gonna say I know you want to talk about the draft some, but or I could, I want to talk. I want. This will be the last thing we'll talk about. Just like you said, the hour point. But I do want to bring. Is Bones Highland still on contract with the
That
Timberwolves?
is a
Can you
great
look that up?
question. Let me see because I do know Bones Highland would come in off the bench and give them like a nice pop
Well,
defensively.
yeah. Let me see if he's still on contract. I want to make a comment about that.
So Google AI is failing me right now. Let me. Okay, so here we go. We got Bones Highland. He just finished a 1 year vet minimum with the T Wolves, so he's an unrestricted free agent.
Oh, like, cause I'm there. There's no way they bring him back. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause if Bones Highland and Lamelo were ever on the court together at the same time, that shit would be the most pickup ball looking like thing you ever see in your life. Like that shit would be hilarious. So offensively and defensively. Like defensively, like they'd be getting blown by and wouldn't even like they just start running the other way of the court. They'll just be hanging out at like the 3 point line, just to get the ball pushed up to them. Like that shit would be hilarious. I might even buy a league. Like I don't even know if they'd ever even have them on the court, but that shit would be hilarious, bro. If both sides of the
Oh, you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
A couple seasons ago, I was watching a lot of League Pass, and the Washington Wizards had Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma
Oh yeah.
on the
Oh
same
yeah.
team. I would just tune in
Yeah.
because I'm like, yo, I want to see all these light skinned cats just chucking up ridiculous shots. This is
Yeah.
gonna be. I have no rooting interest, and it's gonna be a whole lot of fun to watch, and it's gonna be entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, no,
So,
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, there is I think that's the only thing people talked about the Wizards for. Those clips that would pop up of just them like just couple possessions like what in the world? Like, yeah.